Have you saw the video from Joel Osteen? The title say, I will not fear. After I saw the message, I come with the questions. I realized that fear is just an illusion, that we can face it very easily. So let me ask you these questions. Have you ever feel like you are running away from the fear when you are facing it? Have you ever been held by the past pain, past negative thoughts very, very often? Have you ever had the intuition so strong that will make you feel all the fear is just like a movie? If you have those kind of experience, those kind of questions, then this video is for you. Welcome to my channel. My name is PK John. In this channel, we're going to share Pastor Joe's message, I will not fear, through the spiritual perspective of view, help you to unlock your faith, clarify your direction, and find your true purpose in life. If you are in a journey of finding your life potential, make sure you click the subscribe button below and join our community. Let's find your true purpose together. Make sure you stick to the end because we're going to share the pitfalls most people are going to face when they are face the fear. So let's start with the message. Today's message, Pastor Joe shared about the reality of the fear. He shared in the message many opportunities to live in fear. Something like a news, threat, violence, and also the global and the personal crisis shake us to the core belief. And the message he also mentioned forces want us to shrink back and lost trust in God. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed by society's media negative feedback? If you are posting the message, if you are a social media creator, you must experience this kind of the negative feedback, negative message. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. As the story creator from the YouTube, social media creator, we always encounter the fear. We always concerned about what people say about our posting, our videos. So in the spiritual perspective view, this energy is called negative. If our emotion is stay in the negative because influenced by those message, of course, whatever you feed, whatever is going to grow up, you are feeding the fears with more attention, then you are going to become more fearful in the message that you're going to receive. So how are we going to overcome this kind of situation? As simple as it, gratitude. Thankful for what you see, apologize for what happened, and move on. Just keep growing, keep repeating the process. Okay, let's move on to the next message. In the message in the Pastor Joe's message mentioned the power of faith over fear. David acknowledged dark valleys, but chose not to fear. Also the fear of knock on the door, but faith must answer. Fear is the spirit that keeps people from their destiny. In the 2 Timothy 1:7, God has not given us spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. So have you ever known the only way to overcome the fear is to control your emotion? As we know David's story, he faced a giant Goliath, and with all the positive affirmation and the sixth sense from God to face this challenge. And he is just use his skill, the skill he practiced every day when he is shepherding, protecting the sheep, to face this big challenge. Because David exercised the skill, have God's faith, and practice affirmation, have the deep belief in God. That's why when he faces fear, nothing can stop him, because his core belief is built in God's trust. So how are we going to apply into our real day life? It's very simple. We need to find affirmation. We need to find the Bible verse. We need to pray and outreach with the person who have a similar situation. Once you plant the seed will become the core belief grow up inside of your heart. And this is just like a David. He practiced the skill, he practiced the affirmation, he practiced the trust in God in everyday life. We just have to keep doing the right thing, keep filling our mind with affirmation, with the God's promise, with the Bible verse. That is going to be very easy, right? But if you want to do this every day, you need to take a discipline. You need to take a very simple procedure, very simple process, so you can keep going with the exercise. Every day, 5 minutes. Just remember a phrase. As we know the affirmation Pastor Joel shared every time before his message. I'm blessed, prosper, redeemed, forgiven, creative, talented, confident, secure, disciplined, focused, prepared, qualified, motivated, valuable, free, determined, equipped, empowered, anointed, accepted, and approved. Not average, not mediocre. I'm the child of the Most High God. I will become all I was created to be in Jesus' name. Amen. How simple it is, the affirmation. Just remember affirmation, spend 5 minutes, proclaim the affirmation, have the faith grow up in your heart as a seed of the trust. Okay, let's move on to the next one. In the Pastor Joel message, he also mentioned standing firm against fear. Faith requires boldness. I will not fear. Evil events do not change our identity or limit our destiny. We are in the palms of God's hand, and nothing can snatch us away. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever faced fear when your mind is totally blank? What do you mean by that? Most of the time, when we are giving out a representation, when we are giving out a public speaking representation in the school, remember, whole preparation become blank. We don't know what's going on. We don't remember a thing. That is something the fear comes. That's wipe our thoughts empty. As I remember when I joined the multi-level marketing, we always train ourselves as a public speaker to present the product, present the system. And in the beginning, of course, fear, nervous, always come. How did I overcome the situation? People always say, once you practice more, eventually it's going to be flow. But at the time, as the beginning of the presentation, it's really hard. We always need to read the notes. We always need to follow the chart, follow the slides, make a presentation. So at the time, I tell myself, if I can make it like a conversation, I can make it like a very easy way to communicate, then I will like talking to my friend one by one. The fear will be pushed down. Once the emotion build up this conversation, this confidence, then my faith, my public speaking skill, my overcome the fear, this emotion will be overcome. So practice is not the key, but the way you are seeing the fear is the key. Once you change your perspective, that means you are changing your emotion. You control your emotion over the fear. Find a different way to fit this fear with the different way of the perspective. The next one, defining a moment of faith. Unexpected challenge, shake of faith. Also, the choice of shrinking back or rising up and shine brighter. Renewing commitment to God's service and dreams. So have you ever spent the time of yourself at a very quiet moment? This is very important. But what do you mean by that? Because when we spend the time with ourselves, we can analyze ourselves. We can check out ourselves. Do we do something good? Do we do something bad? Then we can adjust our emotion. We can adjust our thinking throughout the day. So when we have our goal in mind, when our business running, we can always stay calm, spend time with ourselves. and find out the way to improve, move on our challenge, especially the fear. When the business bring out the fear, you will need to find different perspective to overcome the fear, not to focus on the fear, but focus on the solution finding. So when you overcome by changing the viewpoint, by changing the way of thinking, the whole thing of the fear is just like illusion, just like a movie. We mentioned about before, fear is not a reality. It's just like a movie. How you see it, then how it's going to become. Okay, next point. Pastor Joel mentioned about God's protection over his people. Biblical example of God's hedge of protection is in Psalm 91. Psalm 91 is mentioned about that God is making us hidden away from the enemy. He is help us to be hidden away from the disaster, from the bad people. So we don't have to afraid with the night. We don't afraid with the darkness. And we don't afraid with the plague. And also in the message, Pastor Joe mentioned, if something did not destroy you, it was God's hand to protect you. God stopped threats we never even know about. So have you ever experienced an invincible protection and then realized afterward it was a miracle? There is a little story of mine. My car got stolen. My parents' car, they are driving, have a little issue. Those kind of the danger, those kind of the situation come out. It's almost in the same month. But afterward I realized I changed a new car with a new job application requiring me to drive long distance. So the stolen car is an invincible hand from God. He helped me to change the car because he know I'm going to have the long driving application. And with my parents' car, they are encountered with an issue, very serious issue. And after that, I realized I took back the car, repaired it. Those kind of invincible protection is always come up from our sixth sense. We have this kind of feel, we have this kind of urge. We know something is going on. We have to take action. Once we take action, take care of the stolen car, fixing the car, whole thing is running smooth, then we stop and look backward. That is the amazing protection from God. So the easiest way to adapt the invincible protection from God is follow your heart, flow the situation. We don't make our fear to overcome when our car got stolen. We don't have fear to overcome and worry every day when we drive in the car with a lot of problem. We just simply follow the flow, take care of whatever we need to take care, and always keep our emotion in the positive side. Focus on the solution seeking. Okay, the next point from Pastor Joe's message. Walking through the valley, not stay there. David's choice. Keep walking through the valley, and the enemy want us to stuck in fear and negative thinking. Change the mental channel from fear to faith. So here comes the question. When is the last time to take action from the idea of intuition? What do you mean by that? Because fear is a way to grow. Fear is a way to take the challenge. Fear is also the way to find the opportunity. I remember my last intuition when I have the idea to take action of my fear. It's open up my thinking on the religion. Talking to my parents, talking to my father, because he's a pastor. He have a very traditional thinking in the Bible. But the way I'm thinking in the Bible recently is totally in a new different way, different spiritual perspective. So in a new way, I have a little fear, want to invite my father for the dinner. But with the intuition, I invite my father, we have the conversation, and I receive a lot of encouragement. My father say, once you stick with the Bible, once you stick on the principle, nothing is going to be very weird. Nothing is not going to be very hard to understand. Because as a principled Bible, we can see in a different perspective, spiritual, reality, and experience. Once we have those kind of the angle, we share the same message. It's not going to be hard to share what the God put in your mind. So as this situation, I invite my father to come out for the lunch. This flow, this thinking, and this conversation just fill my mind, help me to identify my channel, the message I'm going to share. So one of the last part of the message from Pastor Joel, he mentioned about his personal testimony, overcome the fears. Joel's journey from behind the scene to the pastoring, and also the opposition arose, but God provides protection. Dreams revelation, God has you hidden in a safe place. Isaiah 54:17 also say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So here's the last question. Have you ever received a dream from God, from the divine, that's put in your heart like a long time ago? Just like a Pastor Joel, he always have this kind of the thinking in mind, but been buried in till his father passed away. So once he have this kind of fear, church has lost a pastor, all of a sudden this fear rose up to everybody's heart. But who is the one taking the calling? Of course, Pastor Joel raised up and say, I'm going to pastor in the church. Same thing, God put the message in my heart. He told me, as a pastor kid, I should use my experience, the thing I saw in those years, plus the spiritual information I received, I learned in the recent years. I should combine those two information, help people to control their emotion, help them to clean their negative thoughts, and help them to connect with God. So once we have the clean mind, we have our connection established, it's going to be easy for us to receive the dream, the goal from divine once again. Then it's going to be very easy for us to move forward with our dream. We are going to jump right into the pitfalls. What is the common pitfalls when people face the fear? As usual, leave the comment below, share with your pitfalls, bring up for any discussion we have the different thinking. Okay, so you're ready for the pitfalls? The common pitfalls most people are going to face when they are facing the fear is react fear with a lot of the thinking. What do you mean by that? Because when fear comes, our mind becomes blank. We have no idea what to do. And we have no idea how can we solve the problem. All kind of fear come, our minds begin to have all kind of the assumption. If we face a fear, but fail, what is going to be? If we face a fear and we don't know what to do, what is going to be next? If we face a fear, if we think too much, what will be happen with other people's look at us? Those kind of overthinking is not good for your challenge. When you face fear, we always need to stay calm. But we need the right tool, we need the right emotion control skill to stay calm. Once we have the calm mind, we can remove our core belief. We can use affirmation to firming our trust in God. We can use affirmation to help us to build up the confidence. Then we just have to flow into the situation. Because the flow is the way we connect to God, to connect with our sixth sense. The fear comes once we clean our mind, we remove all our core belief. We just ask the question, God, universe, what do we do right now to face our fear? What is the solution I can do to overcome my fear? What is the lesson, the teachers I should find to learn the new skill, overcome my fears? Those kind of thinking is the right direction to overcome the fear. Once you have the right tool, you have the right knowledge, you move on to fear, and you look back, you will say, wow, that was easy. Fear is just like a movie. You have the right thing to work on, and the fear can be overcome this easy. That's why fear is just illusion. If you have the right perspective, you have the right tool, you have the right solution, then we can just work through the fear every single day. Okay, one last part. I'm always like to share my dream and interpret the dream. How is that connect to my reality? Because dream is a way our unconscious mind communicates with our conscious mind. So today's dream is about, I'm practice about the glider. You're running with a glider and I'm trying to take off. My feet wear a pair of skate. I'm running up and down and try to run through off the ground. Once the glider going up, I'm successfully reach out the sky. Afterwards, I figure maybe I can bring the person to fly high together. But because 2 person is too heavy, so the glider cannot going up. So I let it go for the person to glide up alone. And in the dream, I also remember I ran into a lot of the different places. It feels like when I'm reaching up the sky with a glider, nothing is feel like a very real. It's like a dream, again in the sky, just looking like a small world, like a Legoland, like a toys, like a small city. You know, it's not so real. So that is what a dream about. So let's interpret about the dream. What does it mean in the dream for each part? So running and try to take off with a glider. This meaning I'm running toward my goal with all the preparation and hard working. And the glider is meaning I am desiring to break through with the freedom. It's also meaning I'm doing my best to try to accomplish the goal. Okay, so a pair of skis I'm wearing, that is representing the motion of the flow, balance, skill. That means I'm trying to using certain of the skill to reach the goal. And the next one, I'm trying to bring the person to glider together. The situation representing the person I try to cooperate, try to share, and help others desire. Sometimes it's a little too much, a little overwhelming. With some relationship, with some responsibility, it might give me the burden is too much for me to work freely, to fly high. And the last part, when I am on the sky, the feeling is not so strong, it's not so real. This representing in the reality some kind of the accomplishment. I don't feel satisfaction, and in the reality I begin to doubt about the outcome. In other words, maybe I have the expectation to hide. I'm not fully working hard yet, so this causing my inner self is lacking of the satisfaction. Okay, this is pretty much about the dream and the interpretation. Now let's connect the dream into my reality. The day I am having this dream is January 1st, 2025. The day I decide to open up the new YouTube channel, because I have finished most of the class and make my final adjustment. The final adjustment is I'm going to start with a new YouTube video with the English channel, sharing the pastor's message in spiritual perspective of view. At the time, I have been thinking, do I need to find the right person to help me in the channel? Do I need to cooperate, let the master, let my teacher come in to help me out a little bit? So this kind of thinking is in the beginning of the January 1st. But in the reality, I'm facing all kind of the statistic I've been experienced in the past 2 months. I've been went through channel to channel, Chinese, English, all kind of the different channel. I have a lot of video, bring me a lot of feedback the way I've been working in the past 2 months. And the reality is, if I'm doing the video too fast, I cannot catch up with the improvement. If I'm doing the video too slow, then I will have trouble to editing the video. So those kind of experience is a source of the reason I need to open up the new channel. Those are just one of the reasons. But a dream that's connected to my reality, the most important thing that I realize is, once I'm hitting the new channel, I will need to do all in, to do my best, try to improve the channel, try to improve the video, the message at every single video. And this time, I will do the very simplified way as a podcast. So editing is not going to be taking forever, just like before. Also, when I share the message, I don't have to worry about cooperation. I don't have to worry about other teachers. Those kind of thinking that's reflecting into my dream. I have to work harder to reach my goal. So as the single person glider to the sky, it's much easier to cooperate with other people. That's pretty much how they connect to my dream. So it's kind of strange when I have this kind of dream all the time. When I'm trying to make a decision, I try to decide to make a change. So dream most of the time can predict your decision, can predict what it's going to be, or reflect what would be the right thing to do. That is pretty much about the dream interpretation and connect to my reality. I hope you learned something today. If you like the video, please give thumbs up and share to your friend. If they are looking for the true potential in life, click subscribe button below. Join our community. Let's find your true purpose together. We will come out 3 videos a week, help you to understand pastor's message in a spiritual perspective of view, unlock the faith, clarify your direction, and find your true purpose in life. My name is PK John. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.